Welcome back. This is part 2 of this elephant baby security blanket. So you should already have the body and the blanket made and all the parts to attach. So this video will be assembling. If you need part 2 where you're making the blanket, it's actually the cow baby security blanket video, which I have a link for it in the description. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to attach the legs first. So the first thing you're going to want to do with the legs is you're going to want to stuff them. So just make sure you stuff them evenly. Make sure you don't have one leg that's way bigger than the other legs. And don't overstuff them. You want to have some space left so when you attach the legs you're not pulling the yarn through. Alright, so let's go ahead and attach them. Okay, so the first thing I did is I put pins in the center of the elephant, so that way I know that it is lined up with the blanket, so I know this is the center here. And we're going to attach the top legs first. We're just going to pin them in place, and they need to go over top of row 14 to 18. So if you count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This pin's actually in row 14, so. And leave your yarn tail on the bottom and just place it over top of that row. I'm just going to pin it in place for now. And about 4 spaces away, 1, 2, 3, 4, you're going to place the other one. And just pin it in place and make sure it looks good. Okay, so now for the bottom legs, we're going to attach these over approximately row 20 and 23. So count down again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And these are also going to be about 4 spaces apart. One, 2, 3, 4. Which of course you can also just make sure they line up with the top legs. Okay, so now just go ahead and make any small adjustments you need to make. To get them to look even. And then once you're satisfied, we'll go ahead and start attaching. Okay, I'm satisfied with where my legs are now, so to attach, you're just going to go in through a stitch of the leg, into the body, and away. And then go back through the body to the next stitch of the leg. and into the next stitch of the leg and into the body and away. We're just going to repeat this all the way around. And don't worry if you bump your other legs out of position. It'll probably happen. You'll have to just get back and repin them in place before you attach. Okay, so once you get back to where you started, go ahead and pull through one more time. And then just go back to any stitch of the leg and just knot off on it. And then go ahead and take your yarn tail down through the back of your elephant. And from there, go ahead and take it through the bottom. So go ahead and cut that yarn strand free and flip your elephant over and take any pins out that are still in there. So now you got your first leg attached. So I see my back legs need a little bit adjusting. The front leg looks pretty good. So now just go ahead and attach the other 3 legs exactly how we attached the first one. And in between each leg, just double check and make sure you don't need to adjust the other leg before attaching it. And I will meet you back here after all the legs are attached. Okay, now that your legs are attached, we're going to go ahead and add some toenails. So the toenails are going to be over top of row 3, which is these leftover loops. So you can count 1, this row 1, row 2, and this row 3. And they're going to be 1 space apart. So if you want, before you attach them, you can use pins and put them like, okay, if you put one here, skip one, then put a pin here. And skip one and put the next pin in. That way you can see where they're going to be if you like them in that place. So then what you're going to need is your white cotton fair or equivalent 9-2 yarn, and cut a really long strand of it. And then go ahead and put it on your yarn needle and pull it through so that it's doubled up on it. And now we're going to go in through the side of the leg. We'll pop out right below row 3. And then pull this through. till about you have this much left hanging out. And then go over top of row 3 and then just pop down again right where you started. That way the nail is right over top of row 3. Okay, so now I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to do it a third time. And then I'm going to do it one more time, but this time I'm going to go in and then I'm going to pop out right where I want the next toenail. So again, you're skipping one space. And if you don't want your toenails as thick, you can just do less loops around it. That's once. Twice. Three times, and then the fourth time I'm going to go in and then over to the next nail. Okay, so that's once. Twice. Three times, and then on this fourth time I'm going to pull it over and meet up with the starting yarn tails. So there's your little toenails. So you can go ahead and cut that free. Just give these a little knot, double knot together. Then go ahead and put these on a yarn needle. And go down through the leg. And if you have enough, you can go out through the bottom. If not, this is fine here. Alright, so now we're just going to keep doing that with the other legs. So that's once. Twice. Three times, and 4, popping out to the next toenail. There's once. Twice. Three times. And a 4th time, and popping out to where the next toenail will be. And we got once, twice, three times, and then go in for a 4th time and pop it out where the starting yarn tails are. Go ahead and tie these together. And we're going to take these out through the back of the elephant. I'll cut this too short. There we go. It'll just be a little tug. All right, and I'm just gonna cut them here again. Okay, so now your elephant's top legs have toenails. So go ahead and just repeat the same process for the bottom legs, and I will meet you back here and we'll go ahead and attach the trunk. All right, now that our elephant has all the legs attached and all these toenails, we're gonna go ahead and attach the trunk. So first you're gonna wanna stuff the trunk. So you might need to use a crochet hook to get the stuffing up in there. So the trunk is going to be placed below row 8 of the head. So if you count down again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that's row 8. You're going to place it right below that, and you're going to have the string facing up. And then you can just pin it in place and make sure it looks good. And if you're satisfied with it, go ahead and attach it. And we're just gonna attach it the same way we attach the legs. Okay, so once you make it all around, just make sure that your trunk is nice and attached, and then you can go down to a bottom stitch. And knot off on it. And then take that down and out through the back. And then just work your way down. And take it out the bottom. And go ahead and cut that free. And now your trunk is attached. So let's go ahead and move on to the ears. So before we attach the ears, make sure you weave in the center yarn tail. It's on the back of the ear, so just work it up through the stitches and out. And then just go ahead and snip it free so that it's hidden, and do that with both. Alright, so the ears are going to be placed approximately between rows 6 and 9 of the head. So you'll just count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. but I say approximately because if you like them better, a little higher, a little lower, that's fine. So we'll just get the first one pinned in place here. Okay. And you can just do the same with the other side to make sure you like the placement. This one you just even it up with the other one. Okay, so you can see if you're happy with them, and look it all over. And once you attach the first one, then you'll re-evaluate if the second one needs adjusted or not. So if you're happy with where you have it placed, go ahead and attach. Okay, so we're just going to go into the ear and into the head, the elephant, and then bring it up. And then just go back down and go through the next stitch of the ear. Once you're working in those slip stitches that you made. And then just go into the next stitch of the ear and into the head. When you get to the last stitch and you come up through it, just go back down through the head and then take it back down through the bottom right below the ear, and then you can just look and make sure your ear is attached well enough. So the bottom of mine needs a little bit more work. Okay, so then when it's attached and you're satisfied with it, you're just gonna go to the back of the ear and knot off on one of these stitches, and then go back through the ear and then pop out the back of the head. And you can leave this yarn tail here so we can attach the other yarn tail to it from the other ear. Alright, so you probably have to reshape your head a little bit here, and then just double check your other ear, make sure it's equal with the first ear that you attached, and then go ahead and attach that ear the same way, and I'll meet you back here when both ears are attached. Okay, so you should now have both of your ears attached, and you should have knotted off on that second one and took in the yarn tail to the other yarn tail. So now you have both yarn tails. Go ahead and tie them together. And then we're going to work these down through the bottom of the elephant. Alright, so then go ahead and cut them free. Alright, so now we're going to attach the tail. So we're going to attach the tail right at the bottom of where the elephant is sitting. So go ahead and take one of your yarn tails and see where you want, what side of the tail you want showing. And then also just go ahead and find a good placement for it. So we're going to go, like this is where the elephant is sitting, we're going to go one row up. So let me go ahead and zoom in here. Okay, so these back loops that are left over here, right above it, we're going to go right in this row. So just kind of take your tail and place it behind the elephant and just kind of line it up with the ears and the back of the head and make sure it is centered. And then go in to the elephant and pull that yarn tail through. And then go ahead and take the other yarn tail and again make sure that you're happy with the placement and that it's centered. And go into the elephant again. This time pop out right before the stitch where you went in last time and go through a tail or a stitch of the tail and then go ahead and pull that tight and then go back through the next stitch of the tail into the elephant and just go ahead and take this out of the side of the elephant and away. Now your first yarn tail, and go in to the elephant and go through the first stitch of the tail and then back down through the second stitch and then just meet up with the other yarn tail again. And then go ahead and tie these together. And we'll take them out through the bottom. And cut it free. So now you got your little tail added. So let's go ahead and move on and add the eyes. So now we're going to add some eyes. So you're going to take your black cotton fairy yarn and just double it over a yarn needle, just like we did for the legs. Now I'm not the best at stitching eyes in, so if you have a different method, feel free to use it. We're going to be adding the eyes over row 8 of the elephant, so that's right above where we added the trunk, right here. So just go into the side of the head and pop out where you want the first eye. And then don't pull the yarn all the way through. And then just go up and then back down. Kind of wrap around row 8 there. Got some cotton coming out. Okay, so then just go back in to the top of the eye and then pop out over one row. If you want to give it a little eyelash. And then you're just going to go right back in to the top of this eye and then pop out where you want the next eye. So just like that. And then you're just going to do the same thing on this side. Let's go up and back down through. And go back into the top of that eye and over one space. And then back into the top, and then take it out with the other yarn tails. And just remember, don't pull too tight. Okay, so once you have your other yarn tails out, go ahead and cut this shorter. And we're going to tie these together, if Peanut lets me. All right. All right, so now we're going to take this down and out the back, the elephant's head. All right. And then you can cut this shorter. Alright, so there's the eyes on your elephant. And now we have one thing left to attach, which is the bow, if you would like to add the bow. If not, and you're finished, thank you for watching this tutorial. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up, share, and check out some of my other tutorials. Go to my playlist, and I have other baby blankets and crochet animals. And please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Now, if you want to attach the bow, let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, so you can attach the bow to either ear. It's just going to go right below the top of the ear in this corner. So go ahead and take one of your yarn tails. And get the bow placed where you would like it. And then go ahead and take it through the ear. Right in between where the ear and the head meet. And then go back through the ear. And pull it through. And just go through a stitch of the back of the bow. And then go back through the ear. And then we're going to do the same thing with the other yarn tail. Go through the ear. And then come back. Grab a stitch of the bow and go back through the ear. So then your bow is attached. So you can go ahead and tie your yarn tails together. And then go ahead through the head. Pull it down. There we go. Okay, so with your bow being attached, you may have some blue showing, or pink, or whatever color you used. Alright, that's when you get it down through the bottom, you can cut it free. Alright, and I know I smushed my elephant. Alright. So here's your little elephant. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please hit that like button, share, and subscribe to my channel. Check out my playlist to find more crochet animal blankets and crochet animals. Thank you for watching.